Hey, all right. We're here live. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Got your workout right here on the screen. If you're looking for a copy of this and you're watching the live stream, check this out in our feed on Instagram, or if you happen to be on Facebook, we post that there. And then if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards, just pause the video and then you can jot everything down and take a screenshot real quick and then jump back in. All right, so
I'm ready to go.
Oh yeah, so Sam's got everything all set up. So I'm joined here by Coach Sam.
The one and only.
That's right.
So as you saw on the board, there was a couple things that you probably would like to have. Jump rope, that optional. A fencing jacket stuffed with something, pillows, something. We conveniently have a heavy bag over here, where we just put the jacket on there.
Yeah, and I set one of these up yesterday on stream. So if you watched yesterday, you're probably already ready to rock.
Yeah.
So the important thing is you have something, canvas or fencing jacket over a pillow so that you don't chew up your pillow with your fencing sword. So you drape the jacket over the pillow and you put that over the back of a chair so that it's not going to just walk off on you. And you tie the arms around the back of the chair so they don't get caught up in the whatever. Yeah.
All right.
But so if you don't have that, then you just mime along with us.
Yeah, exactly. And 3 squares for a plyo ladder and something to jump onto, something high. I have the plyo boxes over there, but the stoop, the front stoop at your house, right? Jump up on the stairs if you have a deck that you think you can clear. And you don't even need something that's like that box is pretty high. You don't necessarily need anything. I'll show when we get to it, like kind of what you can do to still get use out of, or a park bench or something, I suppose. Yeah, something like that. But if it's something that's not that high, you can still use it. But it's just gonna be a little different. All right, so anyways, we'll jump some rope for a little bit. Not that long. Just to kind of get things going and have my obligatory jump rope screw up.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee. See, we're getting better every week. Every week. So you guys are improving with me. Hopefully being inspired by my dramatic improvement of jump rope skill. I don't know. Not today though. Alright. So now we'll do some jumping jacks. Staying up on my toes, right? Starting to stay bouncy, hence the term, keep on your toes. Light on your feet. All right, and we'll do some squat thrusts. So that's just a burpee without jumping or the push-up. So you just bend your knees, go down, and then shoot your feet back, and then bring them in, and stand back up. So, to get the blood pumping, you go down, and you shoot your feet out, and bring them back up. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. have our heart rate going. Seeing me, you're out of breath fencing. Let's get there. Anyways, so then we do some opening gait. Because it's time to, I don't even know, I'm not even gonna try and riff anymore. It's okay, my brain is burnt out.
Man, every time someone does squat thrusts, it reminds me of like Space Mutiny.
Squat thrust. All right,
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That's probably one of the best episodes of that show
That's ever been.
Ever been.
Lump beef broth. Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson. Indeed.
Yeah, I think Space Mutiny is on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
So
you can check it out.
The classic Mystery Science Theater 3000 experience.
All right. Now wash the feet. So stand forward, down, and back up, and down, and back up. And remember, keep your back straight, not like I'm not doing. Right? Because you want to stretch this muscle right here, and so something's got to give, right? And you want to make sure that what's giving is what you want, right? So everything else is kind of supported and strong. And there, now I can really feel the stretch. I bend my back, I don't feel the stretch, even though my hands are going down further. I'm not stretching out the posterior chain. Aha! See, I am smart. So doesn't matter how far you go down, right? I mean, you get flexible the more you stretch, and so there's no need to try and like push it or think you need to get somewhere. Just get to where you are today, and maybe tomorrow you'll be a little bit further. So, all right, and now we get into lunge, all right? And again, really working on opening up. So I'm really trying to turn my hips and get my whole torso to face sideways, right towards you, right? While keeping this knee off to the side, right? Or pointing 90 degrees that way. So I'm stretching out all these muscles on the inside of my thigh. Good, and then we're gonna pivot. I'm gonna bring my feet a little bit closer and pivot on the ball of my foot on my rear foot or here. And I'm gonna sink back, and like I say, I want weight in this foot or in this leg. All right, try and square everything up and relax. And let the weight that you're putting in this leg to push that heel down. All right, and then we'll transition to the other side. Really try and open it up. And then rotate. Settle in. And right now, I'm really concentrating on breath, making sure my exhales and my inhales are nice and controlled and long. That's why they tell you to take deep breaths when you're upset, right? It calms you down. Your body kind of reacts, you can, feedback loops and whatnot, right? So if you're hyperventilating, that means you're upset, right? And then you're gonna have all these hormones and whatnot that are produced and thrown into your body, right? And if you can control something like your breath, right, then that pattern switches your body into another mode, and then you can kind of fight that feedback loop that you're spiraling into, get out, kind of get more even keeled, and all that stuff. All right, so we'll do 2 more stretches. Whew. And standing bow pose. So standing up straight, right? And it's the same thing that we talk about when I'm laying on the ground, right? Everything is nice and straight here as best I can, and then I'm gonna push into, right? pushing my foot into my hand, and that's bowing my torso, my thigh, and my lower leg and my arm are like a bowstring. And if you want to go down, whoa. All right, now we'll switch. All right, getting everything nice and aligned, pushing into my hand, and then bending over and trying to keep my hips nice and square. I'm not tilting them off to the side. I'm trying to keep the front of my hips facing forward. All right, so then we'll get down on the ground, do everybody's favorite, downward dog. So as always, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, and curl your toes, and push yourself back. Oh, I can feel it right through to the bottoms of my feet. Alrighty. Okay, so now we'll get started and do a little bit of plyo. I'm gonna create a little bit of space here beyond the third square. Alright, so we got 3 squares right here. Alright, and all we're gonna do is, not for very long, we're just gonna hop down with one foot, hop back with the same foot. Alright, and then jump beyond the third square and back. Whoa, and try not to fall over. All right, go to the other side. All right, cool. So that's all we needed to do right there. And now we're gonna do hopscotch. So I'm gonna stand outside the ladder at the rungs of the ladder, and I'm gonna jump into the square. Jump in. All right, and then I guess you could jump beyond here, kind of imaginary 4 square, and then back. All right, and we'll be done with that. Now some icky shuffle, always fun. So again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then use there. Screwed it up. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, I just needed to count out the rhythm. No, maybe a lot better. All right, now we'll do some grapevines. All right, so I'm standing in the middle, step off to the side, step in front of that foot, back foot goes into the square. Over, in front, behind, over, in front, behind, over. Just like that. Oop, screwed it up. So, I guess we have to do more of these. That wasn't my fault. Not that. All right. So that was just a little warm up, get us used to doing those patterns. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do them in succession. So you're going to go do 1 foot, right, down and back. So 1, 2. And then the next one is hopscotch. There, and then Nikki. And then grapevine. And then 1 foot again. Other foot. Well, I don't ever remember hopscotch. Hickey. And then grapevine. And then we'll do it one more time. So, and that's how fast we want to do it. It's being too scaled. So, and now hopscotch. There we go. And then Nikki. Long one. And then grapevine. All right, cool. So now we got everything warmed up. I'm gonna take my jacket off and I'm gonna grab my saber. So, all right.
About halfway through.
Halfway through. Oh,
Neat.
good. I got plenty of time. That fits wonderfully. All right. So I get to talk about what I want. So warm-ups. We're gonna warm up our hands now. And this is a good thing to practice. This one really sucks, so we're only gonna do it twice. So you're gonna hold your arm out like this. I call it walk the blade, but I don't know. So anyways, we're gonna take our fingers and we're gonna take and move the sword up with just my fingers. I'm gonna go to like the base of the, right where the fullers and or start or whatever you wanna, and then back down in a nice controlled manner. And then back up. So yeah, like this seems like a rather simple thing to do, but your hands, my forearms are burning right now. So, and then back down. All right, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab it right around the center of balance. That's usually about, I don't know, two inches, about, give or take, away from the guard. Right, we're gonna grab it right about there, and we're just going to twist it. And not hard. If you do this really hard, you're going to hurt yourself. Badly. Yeah, this hurts. If you do it with a big heavy weight, you could like tear stuff in your forearm. Actually, this like, to get your arm like this, that's like a martial arts move. That's how you like break someone's wrist. So like you get their arm twisted like this. So Nice and gentle, all right? With a gentle swing. We don't need to be trying to do anything maniac. We'll be getting that out later. All right, just feel the stretch. All right. So, all right, now we'll step over to the dummy. All right, and this is, I'm going to show something. I don't talk too much about it. Because people, I feel like a lot of people need to work on other things, but hey, but it is valid and it's something that you can do on your own, and it's a valuable thing. And that is, we're gonna do this cut 4 and 3 with an extended arm. So I'm gonna have my arm out like this. I'm gonna hit, and I'm gonna squeeze my fingers. I'm gonna tap, and you see how the blade springs back, okay? That's what we want. If you're using something like that's a pillow or something, it's not gonna spring back as much, right? Because it's gonna do, but the important thing is that it's going to like dissipate the energy, right? And we're not like trying to like smack, right? We're just squeezing, squeeze, and we turn the hand over, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze. And what I want to be concentrating on is, I brought it up back there when I was swinging it, the center of balance, right? And it's right about there, right? Because that's, you know. Now, right there, that's where you can kind of see that that's how the blade moves around. The sword and my arm move around that point on the sword, all right? So you can put a piece of tape there to kind of register it and look at it, no doubt. But also, it's a good thing to do is just feel it in your hand, right? Feel the balance. Play with the sword. Feel how it moves when you give it energy, right? Because that's, you got to ask the sword to do stuff. You can't make the sword to do stuff. Just like your opponent to a certain extent, right? You can't. They're going to do what they're going to do, and you have to figure out how to get that to work into your plan. So, anyways, enough talking. Right, smack, smack, smack. This is kind of a warm up, right? I'm just squeezing and relaxing, using my fingers. Pop, 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 pop. You can increase it and go a little faster. Yeah, getting out of control. And you notice, again, my hand is kind of coming to the inside when I'm cutting here. And I may not want to do that when I'm actually like fencing at someone, right? I want to try and get to there. But I'm feeling the blade work. And there's lots of feeling the balance and letting your hand go with how the balance of the sword works. Works really good with feints, which is actually what we're going to do next. Very similar to what we were doing before, right? So you're gonna go cut, and you can feint to either line, right? And we're gonna establish a tempo. Bop, bop. Bop, I'll go slow at first, right? And a big part of feinting is you have to cut the time, right? You set up a pattern, and then the feint and the cut that happens afterwards is it's a different tempo than your initial preparatory actions to set up, in. So, like a brief example, right? If I'm moving in and I'm on the march, right? Something I like to do, right? I'll just do this with my blade, right? Nice and slow, right? As I'm moving in, I'm adjusting distance, and I'm giving them a very simple, option, right? Or decision point, right? I'm not doing anything super complicated. You can hit my blade here, or you can hit my blade here, right? Here, or here. Or here, or here. And so I kind of have a good idea of what they're going to do with their blade, right? So I'm moving in, or I'll move it up and bring it back, and bring it here, and bring it up, right? And then feint cut, right? So, ba, 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 right? Ba, 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 ba. So that's kind of what we're going to do here, only we're bouncing it off the dummy. So ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba. And notice the feint is happening on that tempo, right? Ba, ba, ba. Right? Because that's exactly when they're expecting a blade action to happen, right? The feint is not necessarily supposed to scare them. It's supposed to get them to think that it's a good idea to look for your blade, right? So you have set up a pattern with your blade work and the distance opening and closing, and so then, okay, I think that's a good idea, right? Now, whether or not they're like desperate, I mean, that's always a bonus, right? If you can get them to feel like that's their shot to get the touch and get out of this terrible place, and maybe, you know, whatever, but, you know, then they'll probably even reach even further, and even more exposed, and yada, yada, yada. It's all good. But they need to know and believe that the blade is going to be there at a certain time, right? So, and see, and then I can just stop. That's another option you can do, right? Learn to squeeze. That's another important thing for the feint. Is I tense up my arm, and then everything kind of stiffens up, and my whole arm will take the load, right? If I let everything kind of stay too loose, just like when we're doing this warm-up, right? If I say you go too hard, it's going to hurt, right? And especially if you keep practicing and you do it wrong, they'll start to hurt up here. This is where my arm hurts. If I squeeze and if I get too much momentum in the sword, right? And then this part right here breaks, and then that's what hurts. I don't even know what it's called or what's going on, but all I know is that that's when it starts to bother me, here and here. So I'm not giving my blade a lot of momentum. I'm not moving the center of gravity that much. I'm just moving the blade around, and so that's a lot less force. Squeeze, right? Everything comes to a stop. Relax, relax. Squeeze, hit. Squeeze, hit. Squeeze, hit. Right? I'm not moving my blade forward. This part of the blade is not moving much at all. Everything else is moving around it. The Bodhi tree. All right, if that's what it is. All right, so I think, oh, wait, we have one more thing. I forgot. All right, so this is some bonus nachos. We'll talk about this next week because it's Wednesday. The cut through. The cut through. All right, I've shown this before, and then people start complaining about like problems in their elbow and stuff like that. And so the way we're going to mediate that is you do not need to do a cut through. If you're doing it right, not hard, right? Just boom, boom. So there's kind of two different ways. There's the classic Jeff way, which is very nice. And that is, again, we're locating and we're figuring out where that is. We're feeling where the center of gravity is, and we're going to turn the hand over. And as you can see, my hand goes to the outside and I hit. And I'm actually, if you want to think about it as a visualization, you want to imagine that you're trying to use this as a little micro melon baller on the back side of the blade. All right, so the little ring out there, what you're trying to do is you're trying to scoop out a little bit with that ring off the jacket with the back side. So I'm going turn, and you see the cutting edge. I guess I can come over here. The back, the false edge is hitting, which on a real sword is a real edge. So I don't know why it's called false edge. So here, turn, right? Turn. And I'm trying to hit with that melon ball. I'm just trying to scoop out a little bit of flesh. All right? Turn. I'm doing it pretty slow. There we go, right? And you also have to be at the right distance. Boom. But I'm trying to hit with the back edge. Scoop. So then another way to do this is, and this kind of relates to it, the same motion as I was talking about circular beats. And this is a good way to practice that motion besides just flailing in the air and terrorizing your cat. Terrorize your cat, and then another way by making weird noises on the fence and you like it with your blade. So the other way, right? So this is very low, right, and when you do it at speed, it's very tight, right? And my blade is right here, and the advantage for cut through is I'm ready for a parry, right? Boom. So next one is we're going to do it a little more diagonal, right? So I'm going cut, and I'm scooping up into 3 position right away. Cut, 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 right? And this one I'm kind of letting my hand drop a little bit farther, right? And bringing it, right? And we can do this, and it's very soft, right? And work on being nice and smooth. And you shouldn't feel like any jerkiness when your hand turns over. If you're feeling that, then you're probably going too fast and you're too tense, right? And I have a nice relaxed arm. Boom, boom, right? So it's the same motion. If their sword is over here, if they're righty, I'm picking it up, cutting them across the chest, giving them a cool scar. Bing. Parry, parry, riposte, parry, riposte, boom, parry, riposte.
You want to show it with the other hand one time, a couple times?
Parry, parry. Now this isn't like fast, right? Like to get back to 3, it's not the fastest action in the world. But how good do they have to be just out of distance so that you miss and then they can hit right afterwards, right? That's a hard situation to come about. I guess they could parry, riposte. But again, if you're doing this at the kind of the right time or attacking them, they're just trying to scramble away from you, right? If they're doing anything other than, well, I guess, or they're trying to, well, I guess if you want them to try and hit you too, that's a valid thing to do in Saber too. But generally, that's even that, like, viscerally, that doesn't feel quite as good, right? You want your enemy to be running away in fear from you, and you chase them down and, hack them apart. And so if they're running away from you and you do this action and you miss, when are they going to be ready to come back at you, right? They're just trying to survive. And so then you can be like, oh, and then they realize there a lot of times, then when people get pushed back, you miss, right? They're scared, they catch their balance, and then they go, I'm alive! And then they launch their attack right back into you, and you're right there. Oh, okay, bop, bop, right? Parry, riposte. You don't have to be super fast with every move. Most moves, it actually isn't all that fast. You just have to kind of be smoothly transitioning, right? As soon as you're done missing, right? As soon as you realize you're missing, you know what you need to do next. All right, so we'll bring up more cut-throughs next week, and we'll move on to everybody's favorite part of my live stream, and that's watching me slime up the floor when I work out. So, box jumps. That's what we need to do. So we're going to do, I have this, if you can. It's not good for your knees to jump down off of stuff. It's better to just step down like on a set of stairs, so I have kind of an approximation. So we're going to do 5 yoga push-ups. All right, so we'll start in downward dog, and down, and up, and down, and back. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then 5 box jumps. If you don't have a jump and box that's like super high that you can jump up on, we can come over here to something that's a little shorter. All right, and so like this. This is pretty easy to jump up to, right? Not hard. All right, so let's make it harder. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and jump up and then land on it, right? So I'm gonna go land nice and soft, right? So I'll do my first 5 that way. So I'm here, I'm just gonna try and jump up as high as I can and land nice and soft. Boom. So, how much air am I getting? So, oof. My age is catching up with me. 3, 4, 5. So, all right, I'm gonna go down to 5 yoga push-ups. So starting downward dog, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 5. All right, and I'll come over here, the bigger box, just for fun. 1, oh, I should step in. 2, 3.
Something to note, when Sam does his box jump, his knees get really, really high. So if you have absolutely nothing to jump on, you can just jump in the air and get your knees really high.
Just gathering, trying to focus our energy, that's the big thing. So. Is that 4?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? I guess that turned into a regular push-up. All right. All right.
2 more sets.
2 more sets. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Oh, joy.
Final round.
Final round for this one. 1. 2. 4. Breathe. 4. 5. All right. So, now, only 2 more things. That'll be pretty quick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Tabatas. I downloaded it before the live stream, like 10 minutes before. Any of them, free, whatever. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do 8, how do they describe it? 8 cycles, 20 seconds work, 10-second rest, and 1 minute rest between the 2 Tabatas. And the 2 Tabatas are Tabata squats and Tabata mermaids. So yeah, basically, if you've never done Tabatas, they're pretty simple. When the timer goes off, you work hard as you can, and then you rest for 10 seconds. We're gonna do that 8 times, and then there's gonna be a minute rest, and then we're gonna do, so we'll do squats first, and then mermaid second. So, we should have enough time. According to the computer, it's 8 minutes, 50 seconds. So, that's how much time you are until you're free. So, go grab my plate. Make things a little more interesting. And we got 10 seconds to prepare. Wait a minute. Yes. All right. If you're using a weight, hold it tight to your body. Don't let it start drifting out, because that added torque will hurt your back. Ooh, it's turning into an arm workout more than anything. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whew. Halfway done with the first one. Woohoo!
Last one.
Last one. All right, 1 minute. All right, for the mermaids, you can do two things. You can either switch off after each side, because there's 8 sets, so, you know, you do 4 on one side, 4 on the other. So you can alternate, or do 4 on one side, and then do 4 on the other, depending on how ambitious you are. You can start one way and change to the other, whatever. So, we are gonna get going here. 3, 2, 1. This feels nice. It's not even my abs. It's like one little hip muscle. Goes to show you, even if you got big arms and whatever, you can still be weak if all your supporting muscles are not conditioned. Oh, there the abs kicked in. All right, so we got something. All right, fresh side, fresh side. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, 24. 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, Ugh. Last set, people.
Woo!
Hooray.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
All right.
You did it.
We did it. Hooray. So there's a little endorphin high right now, so you'll have to forgive me. I guess, we'll keep working. Even though we're not in the same place, we're still working together towards the same goal. So in the meantime, stay hydrated, stay safe, and don't touch your face. Peace.